has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's incredible. It's free, and it really works, and people love it. You can watch the network on there, listen to the network. It's got the TV side, the radio side, follow your favorite hosts like Carver High, and they got in-game odds even, and stories, videos, highlights, got it all. The SportsGrid app. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Hey, did you know we're streaming on X every day, all day, 7 days a week? We're streaming on X. Just go to SportsGrid-Live, and you're good to go. You can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast full 3 hour and Ferrall on a Bench podcast on iTunes. At Apple, you're good to go with both podcasts. Tonight's lineups, I got them for you, Carver High. I know how excited you get. After this show at 6 p.m. Eastern, it's Game Time Decision, GTD, with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, the one and only from 6 to 8. At 8 o'clock till 10 Eastern, it's the notorious OG in-game live with opposite picks, Scott Wetzel, my boy, and the sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan. It's in-game live from 8 to 10. Also at 10 to midnight Eastern, 7 West, it's Sports Rage with Gabe Morency and his boy Cam Stewart live, the Prime Minister, from Toronto and Vancouver on Sports Rage. On SportsGrid Radio at 8 to 10, it's Carver and Lisi. SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio all night long, like the Four Horsemen. We go into the second hour here, and we're still talking NBA, and I will never agree that Draymond Green is the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I wanted to give you this before we go to tonight's games because it is pretty amazing. Draymond Green is now the favorite to win the Defensive Player of the Year this year.
That is.
He was off the board in February. He was 66 to 1 at the beginning of March. I mean, this was a month ago. He was minus 140 last week. He's minus 185 today.
It's a joke.
The favorite, Mobley's plus 135. Your boy Dort on OKC is 14 to 1 as the third choice. And then finally, the Great Barrier Thief is 25 to 1 as the fourth choice on the board. I will never know why. I guess steals don't matter. It's all around the rim is what gets you the Defensive Player.
I got to tell you, this is a travesty. It really is. I have nothing to say other than this is fixed, and it's a travesty. He is no more the Defensive Player of the Year than I am. And people have said about me, a guy said the other day, quote, "You hustle when you're on offense," end quote. There was no mention of the word defense in my game. I'm not good guarding fast people. I'll give you that. And I don't like playing defense. I like hurting people. I like fouling people. But I like scoring more. And all I know is that kid, what he did this year with all those steals, that is it for me. He broke all the records for steals in the NBA history. And that, to me, is all you need to get that award. This other stuff is popularity contest nonsense bullshack is what it is. So I'm done with it. Well, take it however way you want and run with it. I am done with it. That award, don't even mention that to me anymore. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about Defensive Player of the Year, my ass.
It is weird because I agree with you. I'm very surprised. Remember there was, I think it was like 2.5 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they had some post game and he brought it up and Kerr brought it up. He was never even talked about it before then. And now ever since, they've just kind of ran with it. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he should be Defensive Player of the Year. And that's where it goes to show you it's such a narrative and media driven, all of these awards.
Jaren Jackson Jr. was better. The Barrier Thief is better. And, I don't even care about Lou Dort at this point. I don't even want to talk about it.
I'd give it to Wemby in his 50 games before him. I give it to Wemby in the 50 games he played, not even playing half the season.
I agree. I agree with you.
But they can't give it to him.
What did he have at one point? 155 blocks, and he got injured with the clot. Yeah, he should have got it just for those blocks.
He should have. Let's get to tonight. We'll start with the Great Barrier Thief as the Hawks are at home for Portland this evening.
They don't exist. He's not on the team. There's no such person. He has no steal.
Hawks minus
Reece
5.5.
Shea sucks. I mean, they're not even there. Ice trade. There's no team.
Total. No team. There's Atlanta 5.5 tonight against Portland.
Oh, listen, I'm on the Hawks. Do not bet against the Atlanta Hawks. All they do is cover and win. When aren't they in there? Literally, you and I've had this conversation. What game aren't they in? They're in every game they play. And I love that Reece Shea. Boy, did he turn into a player. And no one talks about it at all ever. Well, we talk about it here. This guy lights it up.
It's like he doesn't matter. He's top pick and he's played great. He's done.
What is he, French
he's done
or something?
Nice job.
They hate him.
Yes.
Nobody here, they just don't recognize these foreigners. That's it. Meanwhile, they're the only ones that play ball.
Well, eventually, they're not gonna have a choice. Once he gets to a high enough level, they're gonna have to deal with it. The Sixers are at the Garden tonight against the Knicks. 13.5 for the Knicks at home. 219.5 the total.
Yeah, listen, there is no way I'm going to have anything to do with the Sixers licking stamps. Give me the Knicks. It's got to be the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't even care who plays. I really don't.
Well, they're not. I can tell you they still don't have any. Obviously Brunson, but McBride and Ken Payne not playing either. So they're still down all the point guards for this evening. But I'm with you. I don't think it matters. They'll probably do it like they did the Portland.
Anunoby will score 38 points.
Them.
Cat Towns will score. He'll have a triple-double. Hart will have a triple-double.
Yeah, let's get Hart in there.
Everyone that they got, Wright even. This guy Wright they're playing. He'll have 12. Honestly.
Pulled him off the street. And
Kolek, they let that kid play. He'll have 10 dimes.
The Suns are in Milwaukee. First game of the TV doubleheader tonight. Of course, no Slim Reaper. No Dame time for Milwaukee. Minus 5.5 for the Bucks. 225.5 the total.
Yeah, listen, I'm not betting on the Suns. They lose games by 40. I mean, they are awful. I don't care what their record is, 35-40. They suck. Meanwhile, that's the team I'm supposed to go see Sunday at the Garden. I got to go watch these hacks. What is it, the Booker and nobody else? They have nobody else on the team. I mean, they are something else. I mean, look, Plumlee, he is atrocious.
He's bad. He's not good at all. Grayson Allen, little Grayson Allen, I guess. You get him in the mix.
Everyone hates him.
The Magic are in San Antonio against the Spurs. Magic minus 3.5 on the road. 216.5 the total.
Yeah, I got to tell you, for me, it's got to be Orlando and Banchero, even though it's in the Frost Bank in San Antonio. They're another team that's got the glad bags out. They're licking their fingers, trying to put their stuff in the bag, open up the plastic bag, get it all in there.
Yeah, they're finished. They're just riding out the.
Those guys are getting ready to go to the Final Four and to the TPC to watch golf. None of them are playing ball.
Got the Valero this week, that's for sure. Raptors are in Chicago against the Bulls. Bulls minus 4.5 after losing last night. 235.5 the total.
Toronto always covers. That's why I'm taking the Bulls.
And I guess I was just telling you about these two in the standings. If the Bulls beat Toronto tonight, I mean that really would probably put them out of their misery. They'd probably be as close to eliminated as you can get.
7 games left.
They could finish them
6.
Off. I got
That'll
two others.
Tonight.
2 others for tonight that I'll give you after the break. 2 pretty good ones, too.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, Carver, the last two NBA plays that we got to get in tonight.
Yeah, we'll start with the Warriors and the Grizzlies. We told you how the Grizzlies have been falling down the Western Conference standings. The Warriors, one of those teams looking to pass them tonight. They're only a half game back of them. They're even in the loss column with this game on Beale Street. Warriors minus 4.5, 238.5 the total.
Yeah, like, how could you take the Grizzlies right now? I don't care if the game's on. They're not even putting it on national television. No. That's how bad they've been. And so we're going to find out when I talk to Eric coming up here later this hour what has happened, how they've imploded. But the Warriors are just playing way better basketball than them. They're coming off the game the other night that they won. Podziemski had a great game. I mean, they got it all going, and I think the Grizzlies look shot to me. I think they're going to fall into the play-in for certain. I think they are. They're getting past.
I think so, too. One of the other teams that is looking to go past them, and actually if they won tonight, I believe, and if the Grizzlies lost, they would pass them as well, as the Timberwolves, who are in Denver against the Nuggets. Now, Nuggets minus 3.5 is the number, 231.5 is the total. Remember, Minnesota will be missing a couple of their guys here after these suspensions. They won't have DiVincenzo. They won't have Naz Reid. So remember that, too. Still 3.5.
Yeah, I don't care about I think Dante can ball, but I don't think it affects this game that much that they're not going to have him. I still like Denver at ball here with this guy, the Joker, having triple-doubles every time he touches the floor. The guy's making three-quarter court shots. He just, no looks. I mean, he's just scoring at will. He's unguardable. I'll take the Nuggets at home tonight, and that's the late night affair. We got a 5 a.m. wake-up call for hoops. You got to be careful with the late night watch. It could be a problem.
That's the late night, the second leg of the TV doubleheader.
Yeah.
Is that
I got that one on in bed
game.
when I'm passing out.
That one you will have. There you go. Your NBA. for this evening to get involved in the hardwood. We'll talk to Eric later a little bit more about that Warrior-Memphis game going on tonight. All right, let's get to the baseball now.
Baseball.
As we have now, the excitement of opening day is kind of past us, and now we're into the everyday grind.
Serious.
With MLB. Like, let's go. We got full slates every night. Tomorrow, there's like 7 or 8 afternoon games tomorrow during C2C, so there's just a lot of heavy action on a daily basis. Why don't we start last night? Start the baseball today by ringing the bell. I mean, it's the least that we could
Might
do
as well.
here for everybody. The Mets get the win down in Miami 10-4. Pete Alonso had a donut the first weekend in Houston. Wasn't going to have a donut in a place where he always hits dingers. Here he is, SNY TV.
Again, the 3-2. In the air, deep right center, back toward the gap. Myers near the wall, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso, grand slam!
I mean, honestly, when I see your Taters hit and for big money, and that's just it for me. I don't care about anything else. So in other words, like when I did Ferrall on a Bench podcast today, that was like one of the main stories. I did like the whole recap of this guy jacking a grand slam breakfast. There's nothing like A, hitting a big payout with your tater picks, and B, a grand slam breakfast. In fact, I don't know if you knew this or not. They're actually, if you buy one, they give you the second one for $1 these days. It's unbelievable. Like Mafia and I would go to breakfast and we'd just buy one and the second one's $1. And then you got guys hitting like grand slam breakfast taters. Like it's just, you got to hit it after, these home runs. You just got to go out for breakfast.
Got to have it. That's for sure. We did hit another one, by the way, in the next game. Reds beat the Rangers 14-3. It was like 14-1 in the ninth win. We did get Berger. I was sitting there watching the game. I was on with Joe, and I'm going, can this Berger hit one here, a garbage time home run in the ninth inning? And sure enough, he shot one out, Apo Taco, to give us another nice hit at plus 500. But this game was Elly De La Cruz, 4 for 5, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and it was his first game, Scotty. It's a trend. It's catching fire around the league. Elly was using the torpedo bat on FanDuel Sportsnet.
Did it right here in this ballpark. A hard-parked triple in. Destroyed. Deep right center. Off the base of the batter's eye. He is driven in 5. His first 2 bombs of the year come tonight. Reds by 2 touchdowns.
Can we get Elly in on the MVP conversation this summer on Coast to Coast? Because all they do is gift it to Ohtani. It's a done deal. Yeah. They've already made their mind up. And meanwhile, this guy's having games like this. It's incredible. And then you got the kid Merrill out in San Diego. There's so many great young players in the National League. And I'm hereby voting for Elly to be involved in our conversation this summer for MVP. Screw Draymond Green. We're going in a different direction. Baseball and Elly. The torpedo bat.
The torpedo bat, which everyone's trying to get their hands on now around the league. Elly tried it yesterday in batting practice. He said, let me use it in the game. 2 homers. I bet he's going to use it again tonight. That would be my guess.
Do you think?
After what he did. The Rays did beat the Pirates 6-1 down in Tampa. Not the best performance. And again, it was the Pirates' bats are just they're just not there.
Anemic.
I mean, they just don't score runs. Now, they did call up number 3 prospect Thomas Harrington, but, he pitches. Like they haven't got any bats down there to call up? They haven't anybody to hit down in the minors?
None.
Need a bat.
IKF.
I mean,
they got
IKF. That's their offense right now. We couldn't get a cruise missile, couldn't get the Bartman, anything last night.
Nothing.
Bad loss for them. Jays did beat the Nats 5-2. Angels beat the Cardinals 5-4 in 10 innings. They're out to a 3-1 start. Giants beat the Astros as well last night. Padres late night over Cleveland, and the Tigers got off the deck and beat the Mariners for their first win of the year. They had a 6-run first inning that started them up. I'll tell you about the Cubs and the A's in Sacramento. Plenty of runs were scored there last night. When we come back.
The team we expected to be a national championship frontrunner all season long and even before the big dance. That is the Duke Blue Devils.
I don't care that people are like, oh, anticlimactic. You have the 4 best teams lined up, superstar coaches, young coaches, old coaches, veteran teams, young teams. This has got a lot of great storylines heading to the Final Four this weekend.
Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I saw I read a lot of reviews about the game at Sacramento, that it had a minor league feel, but there was intimacy in that you were that close, frankly, to major leaguers. They had they showed shots of the left field corner in the warning track, and it was all muddy and wet, and there was a pond out there. There was some problems with it, but it was sold out. And they had the whole deal going, and the wind was blowing out, and boy, did they have problems with the Cubs.
They had a lot of problems with the Cubs, and yes, just for the ballpark first, one thing that's obviously pretty cool about it that you don't see in a regular major league game is you've got all the fans sitting on the outfield, on the hill out there.
Right.
There's no actual seats out there. It's like spring training where you go and you buy tickets to the general GA out there on the hill, and everybody's just kind of chilling out on the hill out there. So that's pretty cool. And the thing that's going to bother a lot of these visiting teams is, I don't know if you saw this during the game, their clubhouse is beyond the center field fence.
They got to walk a mile.
So in the middle of the game, Saya Suzuki of the Cubs, there's a shot of him, and the guys on the broadcast on Marquee were talking about it between innings. You see him and a trainer running from the dugout all the way across the field through the center field fence, and the guys had to explain on the broadcast, that's where the clubhouse is for the visiting teams. He's got to go through. So I guess if you got to go to
and
the bathroom thing.
Now listen,
like
the
that.
other thing is, he said when you're pitching, so Severino was pitching, got lit up, right? In there, or I don't know who was pitching, but he said it. He said when you lose.
He's going tonight,
whatever.
Severino.
So he said when you're the losing pitcher and you come off the mound and you're losing, you get abused because you have to walk like a mile and the fans are right there on top of you, just giving you the business after you fail. So like they were getting beat like 14-3 and the relievers were getting just hassled by fans.
It was
they had to make the long walk, the perp walk, they call it.
Joey Estes was the starter last night, and he got rocked by the A's. So 18-3 was the final. I mean, the Cubs had a bunch of homers. Michael Busch homered, Swanson homered, Tucker homered, etc. And also catcher Carson Kelly homered. But he did a little bit more than that. He hit for the cycle. He's the first Cub to hit for the cycle since 1993. Here he is finishing it off on Marquee Network.
Center field, going back, Bleday. It's off the wall. Racing towards second. Go! Here we go! And he's in! Oh, my! We got a cycle! Take that, Mark Grace!
Was that, so he's doing games now, Mark Grace? He gave him the business right there?
I believe that I know that's obviously Boog Sciambi who does the Cub games on Marquee as the play-by-play voice. Either I would have to go look. I think Grace does do some games for
Probably
the Cubs,
him.
so that might be
Take that, Mark Grace. That had to be him. Maybe he's the last guy to hit for the cycle.
Well, I think it's also possible. You know, when the slow catcher needs the triple to finish off the cycle, they probably were talking about it before his at bat, saying, "Hey, he's a slow catcher. He's not getting a triple."
Grace is the last guy to do it.
Last one,
he's the last guy to do
it to get a cycle for the Cubs. One more thing from this game. Here's our boy, the Butler, and it's going to take some of these guys some time to get used to this. You had to, apologize a couple times. Still calling them Oakland.
It's a pretty cool clubhouse, from what I saw it was in January to now. I mean, they did a terrific job. I mean, they got Oakland A. I'm so sorry. They got A stuff everywhere. It looks beautiful, green and yellow all over the clubhouse. I mean, they've just done exactly what we've wanted them to do, to make it more big league than, as a AAA stadium.
So
how many
here's
people
the deal.
still calling them Oakland?
They have a 2-story clubhouse. It's really swanky. But the visitors clubhouse is like urinals and a cold shower. It's awful. They say it's the smallest visiting clubhouse in Major League Baseball.
Honestly, it's probably akin to what those hockey teams had to deal with in Arizona for a few years, playing at Arizona State, like playing in that little rink where they built like a tent, and that was the visiting locker room for the NHL guys. So it's going to be a little bit of a long year for the visiting teams when they go into Sacramento. All right, we'll come back, start to get into tonight's games.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Turning the corner and headed for home on a Tuesday as we're looking at baseball from last night and giving you tonight's picks.
One last thing from last night's games. The Dodgers did beat the Braves 6-1 out in Los Angeles. So the bad news for the Braves now is they're 0-5. The good news for the Dodgers is they're 6-0. So the Dodgers start 6-0 for the first time since 1981. So quite the start for them. They did have some bad news last night, and that was Freddie Freeman, who re-injured his surgically repaired ankle in a, what Dave Roberts called, quote, after-shower mishap, end quote. That's what he called it. So let's just, in Portuguese, get down to it. Your man fell getting out of the shower. Like, let's just call it like it is. Like, I don't know how, I guess, you know,
he had a
slippery
rolling
floor or whatever.
Showers.
I mean,
maybe
it sounds
somebody
like it.
rat-tailed him. A little rat tail snapped off the ass, and then he rolled it.
I guess it's possible. An after-shower mishap for Freddie Freeman. Not a good scene for him. Ohtani has the highest-selling jersey in Major League Baseball. In fact, the Dodgers have 6 of the top 20 highest-selling jerseys.
I only have one Dodger T-shirt, and it's Jackie Robinson, and I rarely wear that.
Yes, well, a lot of Dodger paraphernalia all over the place now, as they are the hot commodity in baseball. We gave you the Brave bad news yesterday, too, about Profar. He was popped 80 games for PEDs. That also makes him ineligible for the playoffs, by the way.
You lose.
So he could come back. Braves make October. He ain't playing, no matter when the suspension was. So bad news for Profar and the Braves. I'm sure they're glad they gave him all that money. Before the season. That's probably not going over too well right now. The Red Sox have a day off in Baltimore, and Rafael Devers, I guess, needs it. He's now 0 for 19 this year with 15 strikeouts.
That is just fantastic. I wish if that could keep going to like 60 at-bats and like 30 strikeouts, it would really, I think, become something.
Remember, it's got nothing to do with them taking him off of third base and making him a full-time DH.
And picking their new favorite player, Bregman. They just went right over Devers' head. They're done with him.
Got nothing to do with that. The Red Sox did give your boy Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet, a 6-year, $170 million extension. So big money for Crochet. He's only made one start for the Red Sox.
They're doing great. Enough. I mean, they're going to the World Series. They're 1-4. I mean, they're tearing it up.
Yankees made some minor moves today before getting back going at home against the Diamondbacks. They bring Adam Ottavino back on a 1-year deal. Why? He sucks. Like, let's get down to it. He stinks. Why would you bring him back?
He's going to blow at least 10 games for him.
And they re-signed Dominic Smith to a minor league deal. He was with them in spring training. So we'll see how that goes for them. Lance Lynn announces his retirement from Major League Baseball after 13 seasons. Lance Lynn hangs them up. All right, let's get to tonight. 13 games on the schedule this evening. We'll start in Miami where the Mets and the Marlins get together again. It will be Kodai Senga making his first start of the year for the Mets. Sandy Alcantara will go for the Marlins. Right now, minus $1.55 for the Mets, plus 130 for the Fish, and a 7.5.
Yeah, I thought, Skeens had Alcantara by the throat in that game, and they blew it and lost 5-4. They should have won. They were up 4-1 when he left the game. So I'm not buying Alcantara right now. I think he needs time to get back to being himself. So I'll take the Mets and Senga in the forkball, the ghost ball.
The Reds put up 2 tutties on the Rangers last night at home. They'll try to do that again against nasty Nate Eovaldi. It'll be Carson Spires going for Cincinnati. Rangers minus $1.50, plus 125 for the Reds, and an 8.5.
I still got to think it's nasty here, Nate Eovaldi over the Twin Spires.
It probably is. I will, though. We had 16 runs there last night, or 17 runs. I'll go up again on that 8.5. I think you'll get a softball score with the Rangers and the Reds later this evening. Next, we go to the Bronx, where the Diamondbacks are in to see the Yankees for the next couple of days. Yankees coming off blasting the Brewers this weekend. They'll have Will Warren, double W, going tonight against Corbin Burns, who's making his first start for the Snakes. The Yankees, actually, how about this? Diamondbacks, Scotty, I've got as the favorite now at minus 120. Yankees even money, 8.5 the total.
I mean, it's so hard to bet it because the Yankees have been tearing it up. It doesn't matter who they face. They're just crushing the ball. I think Burns beats them tonight. I'll take the D-backs and the boogie down.
Yeah, a lot of their guys don't have great numbers off of Burns. Of course, they saw him a lot last year when he was in Baltimore. So this is not uncommon for them to see Corbin Burns. They just came off facing him quite a few times. We'll see. And remember, it's going to be a little cold tonight.
Little Nipsey Russell.
A cold night there for the Diamondbacks and the Yankees. Next, the Pirates will try again at Steinbrenner Field against the Rays. Tonight they are bringing this kid, Thomas Harrington. He's starting tonight, huh? They call him up and he's going to start this game. Shane Baz goes for Tampa, who's minus 175, plus $1.45 for the Buccos, and an 8.5.
I mean, just the Rays. I mean, the Pirates can't beat anybody.
They're going to lose every night? We can't get them one night here in Tampa? I mean,
not some rookie some prospect they're bringing up because they're so desperate they can't figure out what day it is. They lose every game they play.
Oh, jeez. The Nationals are in Toronto again against the Blue Jays. Blue Jays will send Jose Berrios out. He got rocked on opening day by the Orioles. I mean, he got rocked.
This guy.
Trevor Williams goes for the Nats this evening. Minus 165 for Toronto, plus $1.40 for the Nationals, 8.5 the total.
Yeah, give me Trevor. Don't call me Mitch Williams and the Nats against Berrios. He gets torched.
Kansas City is still in Milwaukee. Yesterday afternoon. Tonight it'll be Michael Lorenzen against Chad Patrick. Minus 125 for the Brewers, plus 105 for the Royals, and an 8.5.
I saw a guy taking a leak in the concession stand.
Oh, I saw
at
that
the Brewers
too.
game. This guy just had enough of the Brewers being 0-4. So in honor of him, the Brewers will win tonight at minus $1.25. They'll finally win. So some guy doesn't just pull and pee all over the concession. The best thing was watching him doing it and seeing the security guys standing 7 to 10 feet away from him. So because he was just using fire hose. He was doing it on anyone that came near him. He was going to just go to the bathroom on him. It was the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen. Give me the Brewers.
That was a tough scene, man.
Tough scene.
That guy, right? I mean, right in the middle of the concourse. What are we doing out here? You want cold?
You got to be arrested for that.
Chicago tonight. It looked like in the clip there was some sort of security people that were starting to approach. I guess they were waiting for him to be done, and they were approaching.
You got to be arrested for that. There's got to be something wrong with you. You're so drunk that you're just going to the bathroom in public in front of 20,000 people. What is wrong with you?
It'll be very cold in Chicago tonight for the Twins and the White Sox. Very, very cold. Simeon Woods Richardson against Shane Smith this evening. The Twins are 0-4, but they're minus 165 tonight. White Sox are plus $1.40 and a 7.5.
I like the Twins. This kid is making his major league debut for the White Sox. It's not going to go well.
We will come back. I have all the late night games, including, will the Braves finally get off the deck and win a game in L.A. With Chris Sale on the mound tonight? We shall see. And Taters. You got Eric next. After Eric, we'll do all that.
Styling.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So, Eric Hasseltine's the greatest ever. He's the voice of the Grizzlies. This guy, I mean, honestly, dude. I go to my front door one day.
Yep.
And this box from you and Ja and these puppies, I mean to tell you, listen, these are the coolest shoes I have ever seen in my life. They're so effing nice. I won't even wear them yet. I got to wait. I need like 6 months to a year to put them on because I don't want to ruin them. Like, I have never seen shoes cooler, to my daughter, inspire the doubters, the process, the followers, it goes to everyone who is and will be with me since day one on the bottom of the shoe. This is so badass. Now, I had the ones, I told you that, and then I told you how much I loved them and how much of a fan I am of yours and his, and that he's like one of my favorite players in the entire league, and I'm a huge, gigantic fan of his. And then I get this box with just nothing on it. It just said Ja, and I almost had a stroke when these came to my house. They are so nice. Honestly, I want to make love to them. I mean, honestly, Eric, honestly, you're the coolest dude ever. You're the coolest dude ever. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me ever in my life.
Well, I think the message on the box from the post office said it. Get buckets, man. Get buckets with those things. So,
Believe
no,
me,
gotta
I wear
think
the
that.
other ones all the time. I wear them. I wear them in the street. I wear them to the gym. I still wear them to shoot at hoops. On days I don't play, I wear them in the gym to shoot. I always shoot no matter what for like a
Sure, yeah.
mile, and I'll wear them no matter what. I just love them. I have the ones. Now I got the twos. I literally, when I got them, I ran around my house naked.
Well, at least you didn't pee on the floor like the guy at the Brewers game.
I did
So that was a
not
good
do
thing.
that.
I'm glad your wife didn't let you do that. So
I did not
no,
do that.
I gotta give credit to our equipment guy, Corey McCain. When I told him you said that, I said let's hook him up. He said we got him. So it wasn't just me. There was
Thank
more in the
you.
process. But yeah, Corey's
Thank you.
Corey's the
Thank
best
you.
and treats us well. And I'm glad you like him, brother, because we appreciate the support and I appreciate our friendship. So it's the least I can do.
Listen, thank you a million times over. It's just a incredible dude, an incredible friend, an incredible guy, and it was just such a nice thing to do. I hope you got my messages and tweets and texts, and I didn't know what to do. Like it was just such an overwhelming thing for me. I never thought it would like happen. I just was joking. Next thing you know, you did it, and I just thought it was really cool. And let me ask you now. Let's talk about more serious matters. They've been unraveling like a spleef. Honestly, they've lost 6 of 7. Yeah. They're playing tonight against a team that's playing good ball. You got your hands full. What has happened? They fired the coach. What is happening off Beale Street?
Well, they went into the break 36-18. They were right at the top of the West, obviously behind Oklahoma City, who everybody's looking up at, but came out and have not played particularly well since, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Too many 35, 36, 40-point quarters and giving up big runs that you don't have answers for. There was just a lot of disconnected play on the court at times. The defense has been struggling with overcommitting to help from the wings, giving up an extra pass for wide open threes and trying to figure things out. And, sometimes, as we know, things happen in pro sports and teams hit ruts. And this is one of those times for this team. And it's been really something that's uncommon to this group. I think you take last year and throw it out because of the injuries, because of the guys that were out, and you were playing with essentially, 47 different players. We were handing out "Hello, my name is" tags when we got on road trips because there was always 3 or 4 new guys on 10-day contracts. So, but the years they were healthy, they were a playoff team. And so this type of struggle was very new to them. And it just seemed like there was just too many times that they weren't on the same page. And at some point, a front office has to make the decision. Is this going to continue? Are we going to ride this out? Or is it time to make a change? It's a very unprecedented time to make a change this late in the season, but they have a guy in the background that maybe they want to take a look at before the offseason and decide whether he's their next guy or not. I can't answer that because, again, I always go to the AMPG, above my pay grade, and that's what those guys get paid to do. And they have to live with the decisions. But there's a lot of criticism for moves that were made at the deadline where they didn't get this or didn't get that. The bottom line is the 5 guys on the floor, when they don't look like they're playing for the guy next to them, that's a problem. And Ja was in and out of the lineup. And so, I just think that there was a lot of things that were weighing down this team, and they just felt like it was time to press a button or two to see if they could spark, some late, cohesion to go into the playoffs. If not, if you go into the playoffs like this, it's going to be a problem. I mean, Scotty, they didn't win a game in the state of California. Every road game, Clippers, Lakers, Kings, Warriors, they didn't win there. They haven't beaten the Thunder. They beat the Boston Celtics once. And in my opinion, on that night, they played well. But Boston was 18 of 60 from 3. I mean, they shot 30%. If they make their normal percentage, they win that game. So they've got to get better defensively. That's something they always hung their hat on, but it just hasn't been there as cleanly this year as it has in years past.
What about, so they got whacked last night, and I mean, I thought Ja played well.
Sure.
We've seen Bain snap on his teammate Aldama, and Aldama played well last night, I thought, off of the bench, but I don't think that's Bain's issue with him. Now tonight you got the Dubs in, and they're a problem too.
Yeah, they're playing great basketball. Since the Butler trade, 18-5, have guys that do things that give the Grizzlies problems. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Warriors come out and do defensively, I would imagine, because everybody's doing it now since the offense has been circulated through a couple of matchups. There's a lot of 3-2 shell zone, take away the wing and top arc 3. recover to the corners and say, all right, if you're going to flash the middle with a baseline cut or a diagonal cut from the corner, then go for it and beat us that way. But they're not going to let Luke Kennard get open looks because he's too good a shooter. Desmond Bain, same type thing. They're coming over every screen and just taking away that space. The Warriors will be uber aggressive. They're playing terrific. They hung a big number on San Antonio. Steph is back in the lineup. And listen, these two teams don't have a lot of love lost for each other. They played in the playoffs. Draymond Green has said things about this team, and he was very complimentary. As much as people may hate Draymond Green's antics on the court, I will always give the guy this. He is a basketball savant. He learns the game. He teaches the game. They're blowing out San Antonio. He's pulling guys in there that are off the bench getting minutes.
Hold that thought, Eric. Don't go anywhere. I still want to talk to you for a couple more minutes about this. Don't go anywhere.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We got my boy Eric Hasseltine on from the Grizzlies, and he's getting ready to call that Dubs Grizzlies game tonight at the FedEx. I have to tell you, I'm concerned about my Grizzlies because, they're in a really dicey spot right about now in that 5 with 2 teams hovering a game back that are about to pounce on their ass. And I can the way they've been playing, it smells to me like they'll be lucky. I think they'll play in game at worst, but I think they'd be real lucky if they hold on to the 5 or 6 because I think it's slipping through their fingers. Am I tripping?
No, you're not. They got to be better defensively, and tonight's not an easy challenge. They give up a lot of open threes, and if Steph Curry gets open threes, it's going to be a long night on the defensive end. So hopefully they can find that cohesion that they've had at times, but they've done the right things when good teams do beat the bad teams, but they have not been as competitive against the higher end teams as people would like by any stretch of the imagination.
So they got to go later in the week to the Kaseya, which is nice for you.
Yeah. You don't think I'm looking forward to that flight tomorrow, brother? You know I am.
I know you are. But then that's a tough game in Detroit. Yep. I think that team is legit. I think they'll lose in the playoffs, but I think they've had a hell of a turnaround. And then you go to the Spectrum in Charlotte, which I think you guys can handle. We were talking about it earlier. What do you think if that team got their hands on Cooper Flagg? What would happen to that franchise in Charlotte? Because they're in one of those 3 spots with the most ping pong balls. You got these 3 road games. None of them are going to be easy. I think Charlotte might be the one that you can get done for sure.
You got to get at least 1, if not 2. And you're right. Detroit's had a massive turnaround. I'm a big fan of JB Bickerstaff. He was here with us for a while. Love the guy. Super happy for him. Just go ahead and look at that last 3 games for the Grizzlies there, my friend, because it's an 8:30 tip. It's an 8:30 tip at home against Minnesota. Just a quick little puddle jump over to Denver, which if you've been to the airport, it's not near downtown. So, a 4 a.m. arrival. And Denver's not playing Thursday night. So the Grizzlies catch them second night of a back-to-back, long night of travel. Denver's rested. Then you got to turn around and come back home Saturday and have an afternoon game with Dallas, who may be fighting for that play-in spot. So when the schedule came out, I said, if you're not locked into something by those last 3 games, bless your hearts, boys, but you're going to have to fight, and it's going to be tough. So I think there's a lot of pressure on tonight. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Miami game. You let it all roll against Detroit and go compete and see what happens. They're good at home. You got to beat Charlotte because they don't have LaMelo Ball. They're out of the playoff picture. And then you better get one of the ones against Denver or Minnesota if you want to hang on to a top 6 spot, in my opinion. Now, if they don't, is it the end of the world? No, but there's going to be a lot of questions. You still have 2 chances to get into a playoff series. But, worst case scenario, you lose the 7-8 game if you're in the play-in. You win the next game. And, you get to draw Oklahoma City, who has beaten them. So it's a tough road, no doubt.
So I just want to ask you, like when Bane and he got into it, and then when it was over and it had blown over, what was the fallout in the room and moving forward? Because this other dude is like, listen, bro, mind your own business, and I saw the whole thing play out. I was watching. What has happened since then? And then Ja's like, I'm hearing that he's like, I'm not listening to this guy with his crappy offense. Are they all like splintering the teammates? Are they splintering, or can they save it and ball and just quit being peas? I mean, honestly, at some point you're like, bro, stop being a pea. Let's go ball.
I think they can do that. They've done it before. I think it had to happen. You've been on teams where you have guys getting each other's face. You're holding each other accountable. I didn't have a problem with it. I saw the 2 of them the next day in the weight room together at the team hotel. Didn't appear to be a problem. I wasn't worried they were going to pick up a 10-pound dumbbell and hit each other.
Mafia would have hit me with a dumbbell in the hotel health club. He would have hit me with a big old 10-pounder.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I think they can, and if they do, they can be good. If the ball flows in this offense, they get a lot of open looks. But it's also, like I said, man, it's got to start on the defensive end, got to play both ends of the floor, because if not, you're pressing on the offensive end, and all the characteristics of what makes it successful go out the window.
Listen, I'm pulling for you. I know this game tonight. I'm glad it's not on TV tonight, the way they've been playing. I'm glad you're just calling the game. Have fun in Miami. I hope you win, because I think they kind of have had – I think Jimmy Butler ruined that team. I think they're another one. They had a bloodletting. Hey, Eric, again, my love, thank you so much for the Jaws. You're the best. Tell my guy in the equipment room thank you. I love the Grizzlies. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Be well.
Time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.